Hi there, it's Chris Headteacher here from Church Academy and Sixth Form with the second of my monthly updates this academic year, covering the month of October. So we find ourselves at the end of October on the brink of increased national restrictions. The stay alert, control the virus, save lives mantra has reverted to stay home, protect the NHS, save lives, as it was in March. My heart goes out to all of you in our academy community who are affected, those whose businesses and livelihoods are at risk, those key workers who are again putting themselves on the line to help us all, and to those families who have suffered from coronavirus infections themselves. The difference this time compared to last March is that schools remain open. The newly issued government guidance says, and I quote, "The government will continue to prioritise the well-being and long-term futures of our young people and will not be closing schools, colleges or universities. It remains very important for children and young people to attend, to support their well-being and education, and to help working parents and guardians. Senior clinicians still advise that school is the best place for children to be, and so they should continue to go to school. Schools have implemented a range of protective measures to make them safe. The Prime Minister and Education Secretary have been clear that exams will go ahead next summer, and as they are the fairest and most accurate way to measure a pupil's attainment. We therefore need to keep schools and colleges open so that children are able to keep progressing towards exams and the next stage of education or employment." End quote. Here at Churchill, we're glad that schools are staying open. We know that students get the best education experience when they're in the academy's classrooms with our expert staff on hand to guide them and support them in their progress. We want and expect all our students to continue to attend as they did during Term 1, when attendance for September and October stood at 94.8%. However, the heightened local and national infection rates and the alarming projections mean that we must all work together to protect one another. Students must continue to follow the hands, face, space mantra. For hands, that means sanitising hands on entry and exit to and from every classroom, sanitising hands before and after eating, not sharing any equipment, and catch it, bin it, kill it when sneezing or coughing. In terms of face, students should continue to wear face coverings on school transport for the entire journey, when moving between lessons indoors, in corridors or in indoor social spaces, except when eating or drinking. And in terms of space, students must stay in their designated year group area only. Students should gather in groups of 6 or fewer, this is at social times, and students should avoid any unnecessary physical contact with one another. So these measures are designed to reduce the transmission of any infection in order to protect our academy community. This includes protecting our staff, over 40 of whom are in the clinically vulnerable category, but they continue to come to work with our students. It also includes protecting our students in Year 11 and Year 13 who are facing those vital exams later this year. Vertical tutoring is the foundation of our pastoral system here at Churchill. The vertical tutor groups are part of the Academy's DNA. However, the vertical system by its very nature brings together students from different year groups in morning tutor time. During the first term, we felt that the benefits of vertical tutoring outweighed the risks, especially with the additional mitigation of mandatory face coverings. However, the situation in the country has shifted dramatically and the level of risk is now much higher. An infection in one year group could affect students in another. We are therefore moving this week to a year group based tutoring system across the entire academy from Year 7 to Year 13. From Wednesday the 4th of November, students in Years 7 to 11 will be in year based tutor groups within their existing houses. Sixth formers will be grouped into Year 12 and Year 13 tutor groups separately. Students have been informed of their new tutor groups this morning, Monday the 2nd of November, and the change will display an insight from Wednesday morning so that you can see the details. From Wednesday the 4th of November, all parents and carers should direct communication to your child's new tutor. Heads of house will retain the pastoral overview of all students within their houses. Current tutors will ensure that all relevant information is passed to students' new tutors. Key workers assigned to students with additional needs remain unchanged. This is not a change we wanted to make, and it is only temporary. We place a great deal of value on our vertical tutoring system, and students will return to their original tutor groups once the public health situation allows. However, given the heightened level of risk, we feel that we must limit the mixing of different year groups wherever possible, and therefore we feel that year group tutoring is now the best option open to us. These new tutor groups will therefore remain in place until further notice. Following the small number of confirmed cases in the academy towards the end of term 1, the health protection teams remain very impressed with our response. The infections were again contained by our protective measures and wider spread was prevented. Public health officials were keen for us to emphasise again that if students have any of the symptoms of COVID-19, they must not come to school until they've had a negative test result. We will send home any students who have any symptoms in order to prevent any wider infections. We have a COVID-19 quick guide on our website to provide an easy reference point for what to do if situations. And I want to end this month's update by paying tribute to the staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes to keep the academy running. We have a dedicated team of cleaners, site staff, caterers, office staff, technicians, medical, IT and network staff, most of whom families will never meet, contact or speak to. But they do an incredible job, working every day to keep your children safe, fed, healthy, organised and educated. They're the unsung heroes of our academy, and it's my pleasure to sing their praises. On your behalf, I want to thank them for everything they do for us and for your children. Finally, as ever, I want to thank all of you, our students' families, for continuing to place your faith and confidence in us during this difficult time. The positive feedback we received from the parent survey was overwhelming, and we are very fortunate to have such a supportive community behind us. Thank you. I'll see you for my next monthly update, which will cover the month of November.